Okay, this is solve the following system of equations with the substitution method. I personally would probably solve this using the addition method since I have both equations with the x's and y's lined up. I guess we'll show you with the substitution just to do what the computer asks. But again, I would probably use the elimination. It just seems much easier to me. I could multiply the first equation by 2 and add them, and then these x terms would cancel out. But let's take this first equation and, I don't know, let's solve it for y. Let's get the y by itself. So I'm going to subtract 3x. So this first equation becomes negative 5y equals negative 3x plus 4. I want to get the y by itself, so I'm going to divide by negative 5, everything by negative 5. So this is y, excuse me, equals 3/5 x minus 4/5. So then I can take that value for y and stick it into the second equation. So the second equation becomes negative 6x plus 2 times 3/5 x minus 4/5 equals negative 3. Now I have an equation with just x's, so I can solve it. I get negative 6x plus 2 times 3/5 is 6/5 x. 2 times negative 4/5 is negative 8/5 equals negative 3. Combining x terms, negative 6 plus 6/5. Well, negative 6 in terms of fifths is negative 30/5. So negative 30/5 plus 6/5 is negative 24/5. I'm going to add 8/5 to both sides. So I get negative 3 plus 8/5. Negative 3 is negative 15/5. Plus 8/5 is negative 7/5. So the 5s will cancel out. I multiply both sides by 5. They're going to cancel out. So to get x by itself, I divide by negative 24. I get x equals negative 7 over negative 24, which is 7/24. It looks like it was probably just a sign issue, because I believe if you had positive 7/24, you probably would have gotten the second question correct as well. I'm sorry, the second coordinate correct as well. So I'm going to use this equation I have up here that relates x and y. So y equals 3/5 times 7/24 minus 4/5. This is y equals, this reduces to 1 over 8. So that's 7/40 minus 4/5. But if I put that in terms of 40ths, that's 32/40. So I get y equals negative 25/40, which is negative 5/8. Ugly, ugly problem. Ugly, ugly answers. But that's how you would go about doing it. Again, I think the safer bet would be to probably use the addition method. Here it does not give us a method to solve with, so we're just going to use the addition method here because I think it's much easier. So let's say I want to get rid of the s's first. I'm going to multiply this by 2. So I'm just going to rewrite the top equation. 8t equals 30. And when I distribute this 2, I get 10s minus 4t equals 0. Adding down, those cross out. I'm left with negative 12t equals 30. So t equals 30 over negative 12, which is negative 15 over 6, which is, excuse me, 5/2. Negative 5/2. 5/2. From there, I can plug that back into either equation. I think the bottom one would be easier. So I have 5s minus 2 times negative 5 over 2 equals 0. I have 5s. These are going to cancel out. Plus 5 equals 0. Subtract 5 from both sides, you get 5s equals negative 5. So s equals negative 1.